Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be unboxing the Powkiddy V10 with 128 gigabyte card. Right now on Powkiddy's site, this is selling with this card for $49.99 USD. It has the quad-core Cortex A35 at 1.5 gigahertz. We have seen this chipset used over the last couple of years in a lot of different devices, so we know what it can do. What this has going for it is the shape and the size and the screen, which is a little unique for device, but the price right now for this is pretty good. I buy all of my stuff right from Powkiddy, Retroid, or Embernick. You could probably find it for cheaper if you look around, but 49 USD with 128 gigabyte card is not a bad price to pay. So let's get on with the unboxing, see what it can do. Okay, so Powkiddy V10 basic box. We got purple, so we got gray, we got light gray, dark gray, black, purple, white, and other. I'd get a purple. Really nothing much to say on the box but what it is. It's the V10. Let's have a look. So in the box you just get, the card was actually in the machine, so there's no card in here. We got our charging cable and the Powkiddy instruction book. The device itself. I did get the purple. It like I said, it's the shape, right? It's flat and wide. It actually holds quite nicely in the hands. You've got your plus and your minus. Your start and your select, your X, Y, B, Y button, they're clicky in the front. On top you have your DC and your OTG. You have your reset and your power on the top. This side nothing. On the bottom you have your headphone jack and your TF card, which with this I did get the 128 gigabyte card. Will it focus for me? There we go, 128 gigabyte card. Stick that back in. Always nice to get games. Just turn it on and play. Nothing on that side. On the back we have our L1, L2, R2, R1. They don't, but not a lot of shaking, so that's tight. Okay, so that's the walkabout. The two buttons here are kind of weird. Single mono speaker. Got a power button there, power light there. Let's turn it on and see what it can do. Okay, let's turn it on and take a look around the software. We got ArcOS, August 29th. So that really doesn't take a lot of time to turn on. Just like that. Okay, so what we have here, we have ArcOS, and there's different themes. I went with this, so we have a lot on here. We'll just start favorites. We got Arcade Classics 121. We've got Capcom 1 32, 2 37, Capcom 3. We got a whole 4 games. That's normal. MAME or arcade type games 196, arcade Atari 2600 5, WonderSwan 48, WonderSwan Color 138, PC Engine 95, Famicom we have 2092, Famicom Disk System 196, Super Famicom 1671, Nintendo for 44,481. Got it. Super Nintendo 192, Virtual Boy 15, Game Boy 2488, Game Boy Color 3300, Game Boy Advance 3100, Game & Watch 48, I think that's all of them, SG 1000, which I've never played, 55, Sega Master System 196, Mega Drive 2200, Genesis 4600, Sega 32X 15, GameGear 247, Neo Geo there's a lot of games on here, 130, Neo Geo Pocket 8, Neo Geo Pocket Color 72, OpenBor 5, PlayStation 53, MSX 640, Doom 1, obviously, Pico 8, 5. So that's everything that's on here. Let's have a look at the options. So we got advanced. It's just like ArcOS. If you know your way around ArcOS, it's all here. It's very simple to use and update. Got your RetroArch. Your favorites. I have been playing on it a lot. Okay, so that is basically how we that's the software. That's carry on and play some games. Okay, so just some other little tidbits about this funky device. It is a 3x2 aspect, so it is going to look really good for Game Boy Advanced. And with this chipset, it will run everything up to PS1. Anything after that, you're going to be struggling a little bit. It is an older version of ArcOS. If you want to update it, you either have to connect it through the OTG port to a computer, or plug in a dongle to connect the Wi-Fi to it, because there is no Wi-Fi on this. Okay, so to you see up here, I'll just zoom in. Up here you have your brightness and your volume. Okay, so to turn the volume and the brightness of the screen up, you hold the plus button, and for the brightness, you can see, I'll just zoom in on the right here. You hold the plus button down and you go up, and that you see the up and down for the brightness. Okay, so we have it right there, and then the volume is right next to it. You hold the plus and you just go down, left or right. That's how you change the volume and the brightness, because there are no volume on the device whatsoever. Okay, so we played 5 games. We played a Game Boy Advance game. We played Disney Aladdin. We played a GameGear game. I thought I'd play the same game, but it wasn't. It was Disney Aladdin on GameGear, which is a totally different game. Then I played Capcom 3 Street Fighter Third Strike. And then we tried PC Engine Counter Attack, which is shmups. And then we played an OpenBor Beast of Rage. Okay, so as advertised, the Game Boy Advance games are going to be one of your all the Game Boy games are going to be your best to play on here. The Aladdin played and looked really nice, sounded good, played flawlessly. Great game to play on this device. The GameGear game, you can see it's a little bit older than the Aladdin game that I played on Game Boy Advance, but it did play and look as good as it could possibly look on anything. Capcom Street Fighter 3 Third Strike played just like it It's a really nice game to play on here. The 3x2 aspect screen you got to get used to, but with bigger hands you have to adjust where you put your fingers on the buttons and the D-pad, or you're going to end up on the screen. But Street Fighter played really nice. Shmups are going to be awesome to play on here. It does shrink it down, so you do have that big black border on the side of the screen, but it plays really nicely. And OpenBor, Beast of Rage, the original, played exactly how it's supposed to. These games all played really nice. Okay, when it comes to playing games on here, I open the box. I always buy the game card from whoever I'm buying it from. This time it was from Powkiddy. I got the 128 gigabyte card, so I don't tweak it, I don't update it, I don't do anything to it. This is right out of the box. This is what you're going to see. So when it comes to the games that are on this device, and there's a lot of them, there's nothing. Dreamcast, PS1, it's not on here. You're not going to need it with this device. You're going to play your Capcom 1, 2, 3. You're going to play your arcade games. You're going to play your Nintendos. You're going to play your Super Nintendos, your Famicom, your Game Gear, your Mega Drive, your all those. That's what you're going to play on here. This is, if you want something where you're going to play, Dreamcast, PS1, PS2, all that on. This is not the device for you. This is an under $60 device that you can throw in your bag, and you can play all of your 8-bit, your 16-bit, 32-bit games. You can play your arcade games. You can play, your Mortal Kombats up to probably 3, as long as it's on the arcade side. You can play your Street Fighters. You can play your entire Game Boy Advance library. You can play your Game Boy Color, your Game Boy Advance, all of those. 3DS, no. You can play your Game Gear. You can play your what is that? The Wonder Swan Color and Wonder Swan. You can play you can play all of the older games. That's what this device is made for. We've seen this chipset in a lot of handhelds over the last few years. We know what it can do. There's updates. You can do all that. But out of the box, what you get for $60 isn't bad. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Powkiddy V10. From just open box and playing, it plays really well. The 3x2 screen is going to take a little bit of getting used to. The funky buttons for the volume and the display, the minus and the plus button to make the volume go up and down, is a little bit awkward, but it's not too bad. The D-pad and the buttons work really well. They're not that clicky. There's not a lot of shaking when you shake it. All the games that come, it plays really well. The battery life seems to be not too bad. The thing with this is, we've seen this in so many other, you have so many choices. This is kind of going to be the people that want a vertical handheld but want it a little bit bigger and like that 3x2 aspect. Because for this price point, you can get an Ambernick, you can get a Retroid, you can get a. There's so many other ones you can get that play a little bit higher, that have a little bit better chip. This chip is a little older, but for what this handheld does, the games that come with it, it plays really well. You don't have to, if you break it, it's only $60. It's really not that big a deal. The build quality is good. It's not going to break. Don't get me wrong. It's not built cheap. It's not a bad screen. The screen is bright. The screen is nice. The buttons are nice. The volume's good. It all works really well. It's just we've seen it over and over and over and over again. You have lots to pick from. Powkiddy is doing really good, but this is just rehashing, I think, older. They can do better, and they do. They have stuff coming down the pipeline that's better. I understand how that all works, but this is for what it does out of the box, what it plays, definite win. But if you want to do more, you have to get a better one. Hopefully this helps. Those are my thoughts on the Powkiddy V10. Thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.